L.L.C with the gang, aka Trippy OG himself. You already know. I mean, Dope the Phenom is just what it is, you know what I'm saying? Dope the Lord, dope the God. Everybody know what Phenom is. If you ever heard it in sports, you know, Phenom is just that next and up and coming person. But it all started from dancing, honestly. Like, I started out as just dope. And when I got the name Dope, it started from me making it from an acronym just off of everything that I've been through in life, because my name actually means destroy obstacles placed everywhere. Hence why the name is Dope. That's everything that I have to do in life. Like, it's always a boundary I have to cross. I never had it easy. I've always had to challenge myself, and I always had to push myself to get there. But as I got older, I got tired of just sticking with the name Dope. And with me being a dancer, that was my actual original dance name, just Dope. So when I stopped dancing and I was reevaluating myself and how I wanted to make myself, that's when I first ever heard the word Phenom. Because I always heard phenomenal and stuff like that. But when I first ever heard somebody say, yeah, this is that 15-year-old Phenom. Phenom. Dope. Phenom. Dope the Phenom. That's fire. So I just put it together, and now that's who I am, that's who I've been, and that's who I'm gonna reign for the rest of my life. Unless you want to call me Trippy OG too, but that's just album stuff. Everybody know, and those who don't know, I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm not from Cali, because my music sounds like that. I'm not from North Carolina, but I've been here, you know what I'm saying? But I am originally and born and raised from the Bronx, New York. Now, I have lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I have lived, and I'm currently living in Greenville, North Carolina. So shout outs to the 2-6, shout outs to the 252. Without all three of those in the mix, I wouldn't be who I am today. So you might as well just say I'm from NC and I'm from NY. You feel me? So shout outs to both states. I actually started rapping at 13, believe it or not. You know, my god brother Tease, you know, shout outs to him. He was always rapping. So one day, you know, we was sitting there and he was like, yo, bro, like, write to this. I believe we was writing to, if I'm not mistaken, I think we was writing to a Justin Timberlake beat. Like, something that Timberland produced or whatever. So I had one of the stupidest bars ever. So I remember the first bar I ever put on the paper was, pump shotty the body, who bodied me? So it was like, oh! So I was like, hey, why not? You feel me? So after that, it just kept going and going and going. But I really didn't tap into it until, you know, I got to my high school year. Being that I'm with my English teacher, I was the type of kid where I really didn't like reading. I didn't like reading out loud. I didn't like reading a report. I just didn't like it. I didn't like anything with English or reading. So when I got there with her, she introduced us to the Freedom Riders when that had came out. For those who haven't seen the movie, which I believe you should have seen it, but if you didn't, definitely go watch that. You know, that inspired me to sit there and really go full focus with it. Excuse my language and excuse, you know, my pronunciation. You know, it's kind of early in the morning, the throat kind of dry. But at the end of the day, that really got me full focused with it, because it was like, yo, I could really write poetry and let out my feelings without having to fully verbally say my feelings, because I never knew how to do that. It was always, I kept everything inside. So from there, I put the two together and just took off from there. I started rapping at 13. I didn't come out with my first project until I want to say 17, 18, and that's when Trippy State came out, which is Trippy State the EP. That is on Live Mixtapes, that if, you know, you can go get that right now. And when I came up with that project, it was mainly just like, all right, how do I introduce myself to the world? You know, I'm a smoker. You know, unfortunately, a lot of people would say, oh, that's bad, he smokes a lot, but that's what I am. I am a smoker. Like, you have drinkers, I like to smoke, okay? So with that feeling, I took, how can I sit here and make you be high and feel high without necessarily getting high? So I sat there, and I know my style of rapping is metaphorically, but I know that my first love of music was jazz. So you have that jazzy feel. So I said, how can I incorporate the two? So what I did was, with that first project, I made sure that I stayed sober the whole time, the whole 5 months. Because honestly, at that time, I couldn't really get a song out that fast, like writing wise. So I literally took a month to write each and every one of those songs. But I did it sober to see, how can I incorporate my lyrics with this beat to make you feel high without being high? And then once I learned that, I just kept rolling with it. I kept rolling with it and rolling with it and rolling with it, to the point where I got the project done finally. Like, that's the first ever project where I bought my own laptop. I bought the mic. I'll never forget it. I had the Logic program. All I had was the Mac. I ain't even have regular headphones. I had the headphones you would plug into your phone with the jack, so I did that. I'm on the Logic. That didn't work. Then I got the MacBook with that, so I'm using the GarageBand, and I sat there, I rapped it, I mixed my own vocals, I did everything myself. Like, that's when I felt like, wow, like, this is what music feels like. Yeah, this is where I need to be. And then from there, I am where I'm at right now. Truthfully speaking, if you really want to know, alright, so we got Trippy State, the EP. We got Trippy State 2. We have the album, which is Trippy OG. Then we actually have like 3 or 4 mixtapes that I put out that I took down. Like, people don't even know that. Like, if you were there from the beginning, you would know. I used to drop tapes every 6 months, back to back to back. So you have Abstract Visuals. That was a whole mixtape that I took down that I actually still have the hard copy of. I really have a box load in my crib right now. I still got those. I got Lionheart, the EP. You still got one of those. And then on top of that, you have where I came out with this one tape called, let me get the name right because it's been so long. I actually have a tape that's called Do It Yourself. But that tape, that was just really just a whole bunch of writtens where I recorded and and recorded it and stuff like that. Writ it out, recorded it. But that is like a whole nother story in itself. Like, that's the beginning stages. That was mainly like a poetry book that I turned into a whole just catalog of music. But I always had out tons and tons of music. But as you get more in depth with yourself as an artist, you'll see like, okay, let me take this down, let me keep this up, let me rearrange this. So I have a lot of material. Shoot, even like you just asked, there's even more material coming now. But I've always had stuff. That's hard. It's hard. But I think my favorite song would have to be it's on my Trippy OG album. You can find that everywhere on all stores, all platforms. It's actually Robin Hood. And the only reason why I say Robin Hood is my favorite song, and a lot of people would probably ask if they've been listening to my music, why isn't Letter to Raleigh, which is my daughter, why isn't that your favorite song? It's only because when I wrote that song, Robin Hood, it was my childhood mixing with her childhood. Because my childhood, that was my favorite character. Robin Hood, steal from the rich, give to the poor. He reminded me of myself, somebody that's just trying to make the community better and give the community, different outlets to come up. Because, where we from, we grew up poor. You know what I'm saying? We grew up having to really work hard for what we had to work for, and then you got people that's just snatching it and taking for granted of how it is like that. So when I came up with the song and I found a beat, I turned it into like a groovy type bopping beat. So as I'm writing it and I'm recording it, this is when I came up with my famous slogan that I always use on all my tracks now, is that, so as I'm doing that in the hook of the song, my daughter comes out of nowhere, and I just hear her singing it, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I'm like, hold on, who's saying that? So I see her doing it, she's like, Daddy, can I hear whoa, whoa? So from there on out, that will always and forever be my favorite song. Like, I cherish that to this day, like, regardless. Like, I put it on right now, and my daughter be like, Daddy, that's whoa, whoa. I know that's whoa, whoa. So that has to be top forever, like forever. I'm involved in a lot. Like, like I said, I'm still like a mentor in the dance community, which is the life scene that I've been a part of since I was 13 years old. You know, with my whole branch off that I had, Urban Legends. You know, even though that I just brought my team back out, giving it to my creation that's out now, Bad Dope. Shout outs to him. I'm also a part of the media scene. You know, I have a podcast coming up with my guy KevEze called Nick and 30. I have another podcast that's out with the whole Venture team themselves. You know, shout outs to the Venture gang, shout outs to Taz, shout outs to Sweeze, shout outs to Kev again, because, you know, we all started it together at that one point called the Venture Season Podcast. I'm also a part of another podcast that's just strictly for NFL people. And if you know me, I'm from New York. Taz is from Philly. Sweeze is, you know, Sweeze ain't from DC, but he love the Redskins. But we all hate the Cowboys in general. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to let it be known. We just don't like y'all. You know what I'm saying? So we have the NFC Beast podcast. So you have all of that. With all of that, being a full-time dad, just sitting here and just grinding. I do so much. I don't even know how I keep up with the days of the week. Like, what's today? Monday? Or is it Sunday? What's today? I don't know. Yeah, like I said, A Walk Through the Dark is officially out right now on YouTube. You can go watch that. I also have a fan-made animated video that's coming out on Tuesday for 1, 2, 3, 4. Shout outs to me and KevEze for that track. If you look at it now, that track has been doing so good. So, you know, somebody actually liked the song enough to where they wanted to put something together for us. So we got that coming out. You got the Letter to Raleigh video coming out on Thursday. So it's just back-to-back visuals. But when it comes to project-wise, I've been sitting on album number 2 for the longest. Like I said, album number 1 is already out now, all platforms. That's Trippy OG. Album number 2 is coming out, which is Leo Ultimatum. I've been sitting on that for like 2 years. It's already done. It's been done. It's been mastered and everything. It's already there, just sitting there. But with me sitting on album number 2 for so long, I've already started working on album number 3, which is Trippy State 2.5, because a lot of people remember my old work. They wanted me to bring that series back. They was like, nah, we need that again, dope. We need that. Like, I love that series. So I said, you know what? I got y'all. So, hey, since it's a gift from me to y'all, what's your favorite time of the year? Christmas, right? 12, 25, 19. Got to end this year with a banger. So, I'm going to give y'all albums 2 and 3 at the same time. That's my gift to y'all. I mean, you can find me wherever you want to find me at. You know, I'm a real guy. You can come to me on the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm rich and famous. I'm a regular person. But besides all that, you know how it is with this day and world. Everything's on the internet. So you can find me on Instagram at TrippyOG_TS. So that's TRIPPYOG_TS. You can use that same thing that I just spelled out, and you find me on Twitter. And you can also find me on Facebook, but don't put the TS. It will be my first name is Trippy, my last name OG on the book, and that's everywhere to find me. Dope the Phenom, Icy with the gang. You already know. Thrill Seekers all day. Like I said, founder. This is our label. This is what we do. There's other people that's out there. Once you look into my music, you'll hear the whole gang's music. Shout outs to Adam Savage. Shout outs to Rob Ranger. Shout outs to Mary Jane. Shout outs to Poppy Chino. Shout outs to SBM Taylor. You already know how we giving it up. Shout outs to the Venture Gang, because without them and my Thrill Seekers and all everybody that sat there and helped me get to where I am today, I wouldn't be the artist I am, I wouldn't be the father I am today, and I wouldn't be the man that I'm becoming today. So at the end of the day, shout outs to Thrill. Shout outs to the Venture Gang. You already know this is Dope the Phenom, aka Trippy OG, Bronx finest, and you'll definitely see some more of me. Cause why? I'm that guy. I'm that guy. I'm that guy. Oh.